Hello everyone, welcome to Module 4, Critical Thinking. I just wanted to put together this video for you guys real quick to help you out with this week's assignment, especially since we weren't able to have class on Monday. This assignment is very important, as I've mentioned in class and in my email this week, because it sets up the next three that we're going to do. That's why I felt it was important to put together this video to kind of walk you through step by step what I'm looking for, so you can get it right and then be able to produce next week's assignment correctly as well. First thing you're going to want to do is go through and read the instructions. They're very detailed. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every line right now because this would make this a very long video, but you need to go through and read through the instructions and make sure you're giving me exactly what I'm looking for in each section. And I'm going to show you the example in a minute and kind of walk you through what I'm looking for. But this has everything you need laid out. Read it over once, twice, 3 times if you have to until you feel comfortable with what you're being asked to do before you get started. First and foremost, everybody has to use the same case study for this assignment. We're all doing the same case. Every once in a while somebody makes up their own. I don't know why they do that, but that's wrong. We're using this, as it says in the instruction, this case study to vax or not to vax, okay? And I've mentioned this in class. Hopefully you guys have kind of been looking at this document already. But what you're going to do is you're going to read through this case study that I've put here in the course. And it's going to give you a scenario that we're going to critically analyze through the 7 steps of the critical thinking process that are laid out in the textbook. This first assignment is going to cover the first 3 steps, the identification, research, and analysis. So you're going to read over this closely, gather the information you need from the case study, and then you're going to go back and you're going to do the first assignment of the 4 that we're going to do for the critical thinking application process. Okay, so once you've read the case study and you've thoroughly read the instructions, there is a example document in here, a downloadable Word document that I've put in the course for you guys to use. And this will show you what I'm looking for the assignment. And this is what I'm going to go through for the expectation. Obviously, we're in APA format. We have a nice title page. Title again on the beginning of the 2nd page. And then I want the headings and the things just like you're going to see them here. The first step of this is going to be the identification. And this is what we've been working on in class a little bit, where we're crafting that main moral issue, that main ethical issue, where we have that should or what should question that kind of poses the ethical question we would be looking to answer. And this is going to come from your case. So what you're going to do when you read that case, you're going to identify a decision maker. This is the person or people that you think need to make the decision in the scenario, and then you're going to think of what's the biggest, most important decision they need to make, okay? And so let's say we have a situation where we have this guy, Bob, and his neighbor comes and tells him that he thinks his wife's been cheating on him, and then he confronts the wife and finds out it's true. You know, Bob would then have to make a decision about what to do with his marriage, and so Bob would then be our decision maker, right? And you could ask a question like, should Bob divorce his wife? Or if you wanted to do a what should question, you could say, what should Bob do about his wife's infidelity? See, like we've talked about in class, it's either a should question that could be answered with a yes or no, or a what should question that could be answered with options, okay? So once you have your question established, I want it written in bold just like this so it stands out. Then we're going to go to the research section. Now you don't actually have to do research. I'm not asking you to look up articles. I'm not asking you to provide links or citations. What I'm asking is, if you were Bob, what would you research to help you gain information about what you should do? And you're going to have 3 of these research topics. So maybe one is, divorce counseling or marriage counseling or divorce law in Florida. Maybe he wants to look up like successive trial separations, things like that. what are 3 topics that Bob would look at to gain information about how he should proceed in this situation? And under each topic, you're going to write 3 to 4 sentences explaining where he would look for that information and how it would help him make a decision about this case. So you could just say, a general idea of where you would find that information and then how this would help him move forward, okay? Should be pretty straightforward. Don't kill yourself on it. Like I said, I'm not actually looking for the research. I just want to see that you would know where you would start your research and what you'd be looking for, okay? Now, the important part is the analysis chart. This is the thing that needs the most attention because this is the thing we're also going to need next week. And I want you to fill it out just like this. Please don't create your own version. This reason why this is a downloadable document is because you can edit it and just use it the way I have it, right? What you're going to have on this chart, as the instructions say, you're looking for 4 options, okay, and at least 4 stakeholders. Now, as the instructions say, a stakeholder is a person or people or an entity that represents people, okay, like a business or something, that have some sort of stake in the outcome of this scenario, okay? Now, the number 1 stakeholder should be your decision maker, and I want it labeled. I want it to say decision maker when you put that person's name there, okay? Because then we understand this is the person who has to make a choice, okay? So if you look at my situation with Bob, we would put Bob here as the stakeholder. Then maybe we put Mary here, that's Bob's wife. Then maybe we have George, that's the neighbor. And then we have Johnny, that's their son. All right, these are 4 people that would be directly affected by the scenario, okay? But the first one, the decision maker, is the one that has to make a choice about something, okay? Now, what are the choices they have to make? These are the 4 options, okay? So the 4 options are something that the decision maker can do, and it has to be solely within their power. It can't be something that somebody else is going to do. Like an option can't be Mary shouldn't cheat because Mary's not the decision maker in the way we've laid out the scenario. So option 1 could be Bob could do nothing about his wife's cheating. Option 2 could be Bob could get a divorce. Option 3 could be Bob could ask for a separation. Option 4 could be Bob could go to counseling. You see, these are 4 different things that Bob could do directly himself to solve the situation, okay? Now, what you do in these boxes is you have to explain, in your opinion, what would happen to each person and how they would be affected by each decision. So, option 1, if we went with Bob could do nothing about his wife's cheating, you could put Bob would be unhappy because his wife would continue to be unfaithful. Mary, maybe she's happy because she can continue with the affair. George, the neighbor, he feels bad because, he told Bob and now he knows, but he feels okay because they didn't break up. And then Johnny, Johnny doesn't know any different because his parents are still together, okay? So it's however you see it. Don't put any of your personal I statements or anything like that. Just write a statement of how you think each person would be affected, okay? And so you're going to do that for each option and each stakeholder. And so at the end, this chart should give us a representation of four stakeholders affected, okay, by the scenario, 4 options that your decision maker can take to resolve the situation presented by the main moral issue. And then all of this is what's going to happen to each person if the stakeholder takes this option, okay? And fill that out the best you can because this is going to help us next week when we're going to make our act utilitarian decision, okay? As you'll see, there's no reference page because there shouldn't be any references or research from the textbook or anything. This is all your part right here. So you're going to read the case study, get all the information that you can. Then you're going to present your main central issue here. Okay, should blank do blank about such and such, right? From your case, you're going to present 3 research topics and give a 3 to 4 sentence explanation about, where that information can be found and how it'll help make a decision. And then you're going to fill out the analysis chart where you identify 4 stakeholders, you label the decision maker, and then you lay out 4 options the decision maker can take. And then you fill in how each person, including the decision maker, would be affected by each decision. Okay? So that's basically it. It should be pretty straightforward. I know it looks overwhelming because it's a big chart and a lot to do, but just take your time. Use context clues from the case. That's very important because you want to make sure you make your predictions about how people would be affected based off of the evidence that you have in the case and not your personal feelings per se about how you would be affected by that, and then you kind of put that in there. It's about using the context from the clues from the case to filling out how you think they would be affected, okay? And as always, if you have any questions, definitely email me and ask. We want to get this one done the best we can because it'll make next week's work a lot easier, okay? So good luck, and if you need anything, definitely email me and ask questions, all right? Bye.